Now, we know that the economy is in bad shape. But one sure way to realize that bad is an understatement is when the industry that has for so long been described as recession-proof also starts to plummet. Sex is no longer selling in New York City. And by sex, we mean swingers' sex parties. Attendance is down and membership is dwindling for both the stationary and roaming swinger parties. Because swinging is expensive. Admission to stationary parties is usually between $110 to $150 for couples and $50 for a single woman. But sometimes, like in East Hampton, you could pay all the way up to $300. So could this be a sign of things to come? Could the sex industry go down the tube? Now, earlier from our studio in New York, I caught up with Christopher Aronson, owner and host of Sensation NYC. Now, I first asked him to tell us how business has changed for him since the financial crisis hit.
Well, I've been forced to do a little more advertising. I've been forced to offer more discounts, more services to my customers, and just be a little more creative with my advertising.
Now, would you say that before that business was booming, that you were, over capacity at your usual swingers parties, having to not allow people in?
That's nice. Occasionally that happens, but it was definitely booming because I was doing 2 parties a month instead of 1. And then I went back to having 1 party a month because the numbers weren't there. And then, again, I've been having to increase my advertising, probably by at least 50%, and then offer more services like dancers and body painters and magicians, whatever it takes.
Well, now tell me how this works, because your business is a roaming swinging party business. So that means that you change locations every time. Are they new customers every time, too, or do you have regulars?
Definitely regulars. It's a very particular market because there's people that are into, I guess, sexual exploration. The places we choose are different laws throughout the city. I tend to go back to certain spaces because they work well for me. And I would say probably about 1/3 of my people that attend the events are newcomers for the first time.
Now, what kind of customers do you usually have? Because I was, reading from another business owner, and he was saying that he has lawyers, bankers, entrepreneurs, people with high-profile, stressful careers.
I don't think it's career-oriented. I think it's just people that are looking for something a little different in their relationships or into their sexual exploration. Demographically, I would say my parties tend to pull mid-20s to the mid-40s, and I would say most of them are married with kids.
Now, you yourself are a swinger, and so tell me, what's the mindset that goes behind it? That you have a stressful life, you might be married and have kids, and so then this is just a way to get away from it all?
Yeah, it's an outlet. It's a way to meet new friends, be a little naughty if that's your thing, or watch if that's your thing. It's no different than a different kind. I don't even know how to explain it. Just fun. It's an opportunity to explore a part of yourself that you may not allow yourself to do in particular settings. It's a safe setting. It's fun. It's friendly, and very sensual.
Well, so now when you say that you've had to beef up your advertising, perhaps the things that are available at the events, like you said, you might have dancers or performers. I mean, do they get involved too? I mean, how else have you changed your services?
Well, like before, when things were a little easier going, I might not have to hire dancers or body painters. So now I might hire 2 dancers or 3 dancers. People are they're definitely more picky about the parties they choose, because remember, there's 4 Saturdays every month. Most of the parties are on a Saturday, so they have to choose between your party and other events. So I think the better package you can offer, you're more likely to pull that customer.
Now tell me this, because the sex industry has always been thought of as recession-proof, right? This is something that it always sells, and yet here businesses like your own are starting to feel some pain. Does that tell you that perhaps the recession is worse than we think, that it's not just bad, but if even sex is starting to take a hit, things must be really going down the gutter?
I think people are worried, and in their worry, they're a little more choosier about the weekends they go out. Because I do a survey of the people that come to my party, and none of them have really lost their job, or even their income hasn't changed. Maybe their net worth has changed a little bit, but they definitely seem more worried about what they do with their money. And I think that determines, yeah, that's it, sorry.
Now, go on if there's more to say. Well, tell me this. How much
No, that was it. That was it.
How much do you charge someone to come to one of your events?
The events generally range between 100 to 150 per couple. Single women are free, no single men.
Well, tell me this, too. I mean, you know, since swinging is feeling a hit here, since you feel like you really have to lure people in with more advertising, more offers at your events, do you think that maybe in some world could this be a good thing? People will be going back to just having sex with their, you know, husbands and wives and girlfriends and boyfriends and starting to, you know, cherish them for who they really are?
I don't think that has changed. I think couples that come to the parties just experience a different side or a different level or just a different kind of situation with their partner. I think they still have the other. That doesn't change. This just kind of expands upon things.
So you think no matter how bad the economy gets, there's always going to be somebody who's still wanting to take part?
There's a lot of horny people out there.
All right, Christopher, well, thank you very much for joining us and for filling us in, and definitely we hope the business picks up for you.
Thank you.